Welcome, students of BE Civil, for the Advanced Concrete Technology subject for unit number 1. It includes the cement and its types, general, hydration of the cement, alkali aggregate reaction, grading curves of the aggregate, manufacture sand as the fine aggregate, copper slag as fine aggregate. It also includes the concrete, properties of concrete, water binding ratio, gel space ratio, problems on maturity concept, aggregate cement bond strength, green concrete, guidelines for the quality control of the concrete and the guidelines for the quality assurance of the concrete, and the effects of admixtures. We will see the alkali aggregate reaction and grading curves of the aggregates. So first we will see alkali aggregate reaction. Before 1940, aggregates were considered as the inert materials, but later it was clear that the aggregates are not inert. Some of the aggregates contains the reactive silica, which reacts with the alkalis, that is the sodium oxide Na2O and potassium oxide K2O present in the cement. The reaction starts with the attack on the reactive siliceous minerals in the aggregate by the alkaline hydroxide derived from the alkalis in the cement. As a result, the alkali silicate gels of unlimited swelling type are formed. When the conditions are open and friendly, there is a gradual emergence of swelling which results in the degradation of concrete by the distribution of sequence cracking and the subsequent collapse of the concrete structures. The rate of degradation can be gradual or the fast based on the situation. It is interesting to note that only those aggregates containing in particular reactive silica and in particular fineness are found to exhibit alkali aggregate reaction trends. It can be reduced by altering either the proportion of reactive silica or its fineness. Factors affecting the alkali aggregate reaction we will see now. First is the reactive type of the aggregate. Second is the high alkali content in the cement. Third is the availability of the moisture. And fourth factor promoting the alkali aggregate reaction is the optimum temperature condition. Now first factor we will see reactive type of the aggregate. Mortar bar expansion test given by this Stanton has proved to be a very reliable test in assessing the reactivity or otherwise of the aggregate. So a specimen of size 25 mm by 25 mm in cross section and 250 mm in length is cast. It is cured and stored in a standard manner as specified in the Indian Standard IS 2386 Part 7 1963. Measure the length of the specimen periodically at the ages of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months and the 12 months, that is 1 year. So find out the difference in the length of the specimen to the nearest 0.01% and record the expansion of the specimen. The aggregate under the test is considered harmful if it expands more than 0.05% after 3 months or more than 0.1% after 6 months. The potential reactivity of the aggregate can also be found out by the chemical method. Now we will see the chemical method. Previously it was time consuming. Here in chemical method, the potential reactivity of an aggregate with the alkalis in Portland cement is indicated by the amount of reaction taking place during 24 hours at 80 degrees Celsius between the sodium hydroxide solution and the aggregate that has been crushed and sieved to pass 300 micron IS sieve, Indian Standard sieve, and retained on the 150 micron Indian standard IS sieve. The solution after 24 hours is analyzed for silica dissolved and reduction in alkalinity, both expressed as millimoles per liter. This is the unit. Generally, a potentially deleterious reaction is indicated if the plotted test results falls on the right side of the boundary line in the graph, and if plotted results falls on the left side of the boundary line, the aggregate may be considered as innocuous or non-deleterious. Second factor, the high alkali content in the cement. The high alkali content in the cement is one of the most important factors contributing to the alkali aggregate reaction. As per the IS 2386 Part 7 1963, the alkali content is restricted to less than 0.6%. Their total amount expressed as Na2O, that is sodium oxide, equivalent Na2 plus 0.658 K2O, that is the potassium oxide. The cement meeting this requirement is designated as the low alkali cement. So the third factor promoting the alkali aggregate reaction is the availability of the moisture. Now we will see the progress of chemical reactions involving alkali aggregate reaction in concrete requires the presence of water. It has been seen that in the field and the laboratory that lack of water greatly reduces this kind of deterioration. Therefore, it is prudent to note that deterioration due to alkali aggregate reaction will not occur in the interior of the mass concrete. The deterioration will be more on the surface of the concrete. It is suggested that reduction in the deterioration due to alkali aggregate reaction can be achieved by the application of the waterproofing agent on the surface of the concrete with a view to preventing additional penetration of the water into the structure. So the fourth factor promoting the alkali aggregate reaction is the optimum temperature condition. The ideal temperature for the promotion of alkali aggregate is in the range of 10 degrees Celsius to 38 degrees Celsius. If the temperature condition is less than or more than the 10 degrees Celsius to 38 degrees Celsius, it may not provide an ideal situation for the alkali aggregate reaction. Now we will see how to control the alkali aggregate reaction. First, by selection of non-reactive aggregates. Second, by the use of low alkali cement. Third is by the use of corrective admixtures such as pozzolanas, as like fly ash. Fourth is by controlling the void space in the concrete. Fifth is by controlling the moisture condition and the temperature condition. So we have seen the alkali aggregate reaction. Now we will see the grading curves of the aggregates. It is not surprising that the particles of the aggregate fit together in the mix as influenced by the gradation, shape and the surface texture has an important effect on the workability and the finishing characteristic of fresh concrete, consequently on the properties of the hardened concrete. Volumes have been written on the effects of the aggregate grading on the properties of the concrete, and many so called as the ideal grading curves has been proposed by the researchers. So here we will see the grading curves of the aggregates. Here the curve A, it is the well graded soil, the good representation of all type of the particles. So this is the curve A. Curve B is uniformly graded soil. Most of the particles are in the same size. So this is the curve B, dotted line. Curve C is the well graded sand. So this is the curve C, the well graded sand. Curve E is the gap graded soil. Sometimes intermediate particles are missing. So this is the curve E, that is the gap graded, and also the curve D is there for the fat clay. So here we will see the graph of the grading curve of zone 1 for the fine aggregate. So fine aggregates which are in the zone 1, it is here. You can say this as the particle size distribution also. Now we are saying the grading curve of the zone 2 for the fine aggregate. So previously it was the zone 1, this is the zone 2. Now we are saying the grading curve of the zone 3 of the fine aggregate. Now here we are saying the grading curve of the zone 4 for the fine aggregate. Now we are saying the grading curves for the coarse aggregate, that is the MSA, maximum size of the aggregate is 20 mm. Now we are saying the grading curve for the coarse aggregate, MSA, that is maximum size of the aggregate is 40 mm. Now we are seeing the grading curve for the single size coarse aggregate, single size 20 mm and single size 40 mm. So here the dark line which we will seeing, it is the 40 mm coarse aggregate single size, and dotted line is the single size coarse aggregate of 20 mm. These are the graphs. Now we are seeing the grading curve for the graded coarse aggregate of 20 mm and the 40 mm coarse aggregate. So dark line is again the 40 mm coarse aggregate, and dotted line is the graded coarse aggregate of 20 mm. Now we are seeing the grading curve for the all-in-one coarse aggregate, that is 20 mm and the 40 mm. Again here the dark line is of 40 mm coarse aggregate all-in-one, and dotted line is the all-in-one coarse aggregate of 20 mm. So these are the YouTube links for the alkali aggregate reaction. Here you can see the YouTube link for the sieve analysis for the fine aggregate. This is the YouTube link for the sieve analysis for the coarse aggregate. So we have seen the alkali aggregate reaction and the grading curves of the aggregate. So in unit 1 it includes the cement and its type, general, hydration of the cement, alkali aggregate reaction, grading curves of the aggregate, manufacture sand as the fine aggregate, copper slag as the fine aggregate. It also includes the concrete, properties of concrete, WB ratio, that is water binding ratio, gel space ratio, problems on maturity concept, aggregate cement bond strength, green concrete, guidelines for the quality control of the concrete and the quality assurance of the concrete, and the effects of admixtures. Thank you all students. Please give me your attendance if you have viewed the video, as like video topic _ division _ roll number _ self name.